What's up, dudes? Chooch, bringing y'all a ride, a history lesson through a really cool place in Colorado. We're going to be talking about an avalanche tragedy up here. We're going to be looking at a cool place in general and talking about the whole history and details of it all while riding on the Begode EX-N. And guys, good news, E-Wheels has the Begode EX-N in stock right now. I know everybody's been wanting to get this wheel. It's going to arrive in early November, so get your pre-orders in. The link's below, guys. Helps the channel out a lot, and this wheel that E-Wheels are going to be having is going to have the new black board in it and the improved smaller bearings in there, so you're not going to have any of that initial problems they had with the bearings, you know, getting a little bit gritty over time. I put all that marine grease in mine, and mine is still sailing perfectly fine, but everything they've done to this wheel is all upgrades on it. And at E-Wheels right now, this thing is really good price point for this wheel. I'm telling you, it's $2,999 and then if you go ahead and put in your $500 deposit now, then it's going to be $2,499 on arrival to the US. And I'm telling you, putting in that deposit right there, and then whenever you actually have to pay that price for the wheel, and that $500 is already said and done, it really makes it a lot better, because I personally had to do it with the Sherman. So and you can actually choose your motor type on here, guys, with this new Begode EX-N. You can choose if you want the C38 high torque motor, or you can choose if you want the C30 high speed motor. And both options are available right now at E-Wheels. And you can even choose the tire you want right now, guys. The options are on here. You can choose the Knobby CST 186, or you can get that street, the Kenda tire, the 340A. So, dude, you can get the black board with the Samsung 50E cells, the Litech battery packs. They're Korean imported cells right now, with a Knobby tire shipped to your door for $3,000. That's incredible, guys. So I'd hop on that if y'all are wanting a really fast advanced wheel that I'm loving right now. You've seen how much I've been riding this thing. I hop on this thing if this is what you're wanting, because I don't know how long these are gonna last. I bet everybody's gonna want these things. But anyways, let's talk about where we're riding at. This is Twin Lakes, Colorado, guys, and we're gonna be taking a little trip around here on this cool trail I saw. I was riding through and I saw this trail off to the side of the road, and I had to stop and come over here and ride it. I literally had to stop and come ride this thing, and it's kind of hidden. Check that out. So it's kind of hidden in there. But I saw it and I was like, dude, this looks perfect. This is my first time ever on this trail right here, but it turned out to be so perfect for riding, dudes. And so this town up here is called, like I said, Twin Lakes. It was originally settled and named Dayton, Colorado, back in 1865. And this is right near Aspen, guys. It became kind of like a good transport town between Leadville and Aspen. And that was when like everybody was out here for the gold rush, and that was like 1879, 1880, and they were moving goods between the two boom towns of Leadville and then Aspen, and that drove a ton of development over here, over Independence Pass, and they made a narrow toll road right through here, and this was known as, in 1885, this was known as the most charming mountain resort in Colorado right here. This was kind of like the Estes Park, before there was an Estes Park. That's really kind of the popular destination where everybody goes in the summer now. But this was just majestic. 1885, there would have been, the water level would have been lower because they've recently put a dam up here in order to make this a reservoir for drinking water. And the houses and everything would have been a little bit lower down there on the shoreline. And what they did is, when they created this to make it a reservoir, put that dam there, they actually picked up the old historic houses like the Dexter House and whatnot, and they moved that back onto the other side of the road. So the historic houses used to actually be down there where the water level, or pretty much in the lake. And that's where I did that last ride, where I rode all around the actual dried up part of the lake right there. And so that would have been kind of where the town would have been. And they had a hotel up here. In 1879, there was a hotel built, and it was on the South Shore. Beautiful trail, dude. The Begode EX-N. and it was purchased by James Dexter and renamed Interlaken.
Twin
And it was
Lakes,
the
Colorado.
Interlaken Hotel and Resort,
And
and
I've
it
just
was
been
like
exploring,
deluxe
dude.
accommodations, guys.
been
It was
exploring everywhere.
sweet for its
It's
time,
awesome.
and there's nothing like that up here now. There's just like there's not even, I mean, there's like a peanut stand or something up here maybe in the summertime, but there's nothing really else going on, guys, up here. And I don't even think there's really a place to eat. There's probably a few people that live up here. Actually, in 1962, there was an avalanche up here, guys. You see kind of how this town is situated, where there's those big mountains on the backside over here. There's actually this mountain over here coming down from where there's a cow pasture up there. It wasn't even a steep mountain, but they got so much snowfall in 1962 up here that during the middle of the night, a avalanche broke loose in a place where there was never expected to be an avalanche. It was right behind the town, and it came through and killed 7 people up here in 1962. An avalanche, not on a ski slope, not caused by a snowmobile or any weird hiking where you're not supposed to. Literally in a place like this, just got so much snowfall, it came through and slid and killed 7 people while they were sleeping up here. And I mean, you can look up the pictures of it. I'll even put some pictures in right here. It's incredible, man. Like, you see the cars and everything up there. It literally, the whole town was just full of snow. The whole town just completely wrecked. So, back to talking about one of the coolest things about this place is the tourist destination being in 1883 up here. That this place was. And you can just see the natural beauty of it, and just think about 1883. The Interlaken Hotel up here, if you look into it, it really was nice for its time, and it had all the amenities. And this is where people would come up here to horseback ride, to fish, steam powered power boats out here, and that was the norm too. And this is where people that had money, and these were people traveling on the train going over Independence Pass. These are hard-working folks up here that were in the gold industry, that were into silver mining, that were they could have been in the steel industry. These are families that were traveling, they were working, they were using the train, and even back then, you had to be wealthy to be on the train too. And so this is kind of how the whole development of Aspen started and whatnot, because Aspen's right down the road from here, and that's kind of where it got all of its wealth from and everything, is from that gold rush time period, and then growing just to be, I mean, it's quite remote. And I guess the people that kind of founded that whole area were people that were heavily involved in industry at that time. There was money to be made in America back in the late 1800s, for sure. Check this out. I found this awesome pictures, probably like 4th of July up here in front of the Interlaken Hotel and Resort, probably around like 1890 right here. Check out the hats and all of them with the American flags and their bikes, dude. That's just awesome. Very cool. And the fellow that bought the actual resort, so the fellow that bought the actual resort was James Dexter, and he really helped to get going. And this hotel was actually built in 1879, Interlaken Resort, and then he bought it and kind of did some more stuff to it and added some horse stalls and all that stuff. You can even see, guys, if you go here today, you got to go up in the woods a little bit, but you can even see the 6-sided privy or 6-sided horse stall.
Sometimes the best thing you can do is stay on it right there. I knew I'd overshoot that and maybe hit the rock, but I avoided.
You'd bring your horses up to, and that's how people would get from the train station over here, is by horseback. They either come on their own horses, or either they'd just come over here on like in a coach, like a stage coach or whatever. It was pulling them by horse. And so they had stalls and everything where you could put your horse. And Dexter's house, guys, is awesome. You can even see it. Like I said, they picked it up and moved it, and it's fully restored. They restored it, and it is a sweet place, man. Like, you can tell, like, dude, having that house in late 1890s up here by the lake would be just incredible, dude. Like, his house had to be just like the most baller place in the world, dude. Like, it is sweet. And you got to think, dude, everybody else was in little cabins. It was like with concrete between the boards and everything. And this guy was in just, I mean, this place is sick. Look at it. Guys, it's the coolest thing in the world, being able to explore these places on this wheel and being able to just really take in the sights whenever you're out here, and being able to be one with nature is so much better than being on a bicycle or a motorcycle or hiking for that matter, because you can just cover a lot more ground. You can, if you leave something somewhere, you don't, it's not a mission to walk back and get it. You can go back really quick and get whatever you need. It's simply amazing, and it's so much fun to explore the outdoors. And if you really love history like I do, and you go to these certain places, and you either study the history before you go, spark the curiosity when you go, and then study it afterwards, it is amazing, and it makes you really appreciate the area so much more. Because on this trail right here, just 200 years ago, there was horses walking on this, horses and buggies, and people that really had some genuine class when America was starting up, and it really was a different time, man. And it's just so cool to think about that. And I mean, looking at like this hotel, like the Interlaken Hotel, that'd be overlooking this right here. Like the vibe I was getting editing this, I had like some wild music on, some like really inspirational music that had like an eerie vibe to it. But I was listening to that, and then looking at like the hotel and thinking about the people that were up here, and just thinking about how they raised their kids, and going to the lake and having fun in it, just like we are today, using this exact lake with the exact scenery, exact outdoors, the exact way it is now, because it's all untouched. It's not like a city or anything like that. And so that is what's really cool about it. And you can literally, you're doing the exact same thing that these people were doing 200 years ago in the exact same place, and it all looks the same. That's one thing I love about nature so much. And going to these spots that are I mean, yeah, there's like 2 or 3 buildings over here, and you can really get a grasp of what it was like, but it's untouched nature still. And that is the coolest thing about it. That's what I love about history, and especially history of like the Western United States. It really is awesome. Like, there's so much more to explore in it too, which is really cool. Hey dudes, so if y'all aren't subscribed to the channel, hit that red button down there. I notice a lot of people that watch aren't subscribed. Go ahead and hit that button. I got some cool content coming, and I ride these things all winter long. So last year I put this CRF 80 tire on the M Super X right here, and I blasted around all winter long. I ended up getting it down to where I could really ride the thing fast in the snow. And so that's coming. I got a brand new tire in there to put on the wheel as soon as the first snowstorm hits. I'm going to be experimenting with some ice studs this year and really going all in for some wintertime riding. It is my favorite type of riding, and it always has been. I love it. So also check out the Lazy Rolling jackets too, because this is one of the old armored hoodies right here. But check out those as well, because they're great for riding in the wintertime. And also, this is my Instagram page, Chooch Tech on Instagram. You can see some wild rides, and I do a lot of editing over there to music and stuff, because I can't really edit to music on YouTube because of the copyright issues, but I do enjoy really editing to the beat, and I really spend a lot more time than I should on my Instagram clips. So go over there and check that out if that interests you guys. Anyways, it's been Chooch. If y'all enjoyed the video, throw it a thumbs up, and I will see you dudes in the next one.